Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. I hope your week started well and that you're feeling okay. So come on in. Today, bit festive, I must admit. I'm feeling a bit sort of festive, so got a lovely festive design to share with you. And I love the idea of these opposite corners. And I'm thinking we could change this up. We've got so many pound stamps. Do you know what? I've started already making other designs. I do this. So if your mojo's gone, just start having a play and you'll be surprised how you'll come up with other designs while you're creating. I've decorated the back as well, look. I always think that's such a lovely touch. And the envelope. And as you know me, I go for the bottom left-hand corner. So if I'm posting this, put my stamp here, address here, and again I carry on that lovely diagonal design. All permanent ink, Posca pen which dries permanent, so that if it gets rained or snowed on, which can happen here, it won't go onto my card design, it won't run, the ink is permanent. So that's the sort of thing we're going to do. And I must admit, I've just been playing with this design so much. I'm going to start with, now I've got a piece of my Multifarious card, and this is 5.5 inches square, just so that it's perfect to go on my 6x6. And just in case you want to know, the matting and layering, I've used the Fired Earth from our lovely quality card. And there are so many colours in this, it's sort of, I'll open this and show you. The finished design, I must admit, most of the colours actually went sort of, because I'm using tones of brown, the browns, the greens, I was spoilt for choice with this collection. So that's a lovely collection to have. So that's the Fired Earth. So I'm going to file those on the floor next to Eric because I'm running out of room. And I'm coming in with our sticker stencil set 5. And that's the one, if you remember, where we've got our square, the crescent moon, the arch and the circle. And we're going to use the lovely arch and we're going to use the inner bit today. So again, just peel it off and put that somewhere safe, because these things, as we know, they disappear. Now, the hardest bit for me is getting this in the middle. So, and you're right, I know you're telling me I could put a dot in the middle, but I do like to do things by eye. So I'm just gonna, do you know what? I'm gonna go for that. But it's not straight, is it? And I know what will happen, but that's the beauty of these, because they're sticky, peel on, peel off. Right, there we go, happy with that. And I'm going to come in with my stencil brush, and this is the larger one, and the Sahara. I love this colour. As you know, sorry, I do keep using it a lot. Again, in the lid. And I'm just going to blend it a bit in the lid first. And I'm coming onto my sticker stencil. And the first place I'm going is this bottom corner. Because I'm going to have my stamp in there, I almost want that a deeper colour. And when I've added the ink, I'll just take some then round the rest of the shape. I'm going to do the same in this top area where I'm going to do my stamping. So I want that quite dark, and then come back. I want quite a bit of ink because I want to be able to see that shape. And again, this would look lovely, vary your colours. I love designs like this that I can then take and run with and change it up. You've got the bones of the design there, but you can change it up, changing the colour, the stamps. Right, I'm happy with that. So my tip to get the sticker stencil off easily is bend the card, look, and the bottom corner will pop up like that. Lift it off. Now for me, I always clean this on my mat. I find it easier to just give it a quick wipe with a damp cloth and then bring in my inky binky, give it a dry, again peel it off with the corner and put it straight back on its carrier sheet, and that way I've less chance of getting glitter underneath, and I know where it is. So I'm going to come in and we're going to do some stamping. The two colours of ink I've chosen for my stamping, and I'm not going to lift them over my card, the Versafine Clair. So that's your permanent ink, the Pinecone and the Shady Lane, or as we call her, Shady Lady. And we've got a couple of the lovely little mini stamps, and the Pinecone's the first one I'm going to use. Seems fitting to do the Pinecone in Pinecone. We'll just pop it in this corner. Now on my original, I've just popped one in this corner, but I'm going to see what it looks like with a couple in the top. And again, that's the beauty of this. It's the sort of design that you can play around with. And also, I think it's perfect for batch card making, but you could alter them slightly. And I love to do that. So I'm using the same product on my desk. So I don't have to sort of get lots of things in and out, but each one's slightly different. I'm just one of those people. I almost get a bit bored if I do the same thing too often. Is that just me? Please tell me I'm not the only one. I'm going to come in with our little mini winter berry, and this is lovely, but I've mentioned this before, it's got quite a large stalk on, so I'm almost just going to get rid of a little bit of that stalk. And I think if we have one come in here, and maybe one the other side. I'm thinking I might just try one popping out from the middle there. What do you think? And then we'll just have two at the bottom. And then what I'm thinking is that where we've got that magic 5, haven't we? If we pop one there. So you see why I didn't want too much of the stalk, that stem bit. I just think I can, yeah. See, be tempted to do one there, but I'm thinking I like the 5. And also I'm being mindful, got to colour those in. That's something I have learned is if I stamp these too many times, depends how much time I've got for my colouring in. And it might be I want to do lots of colouring in, but I do think with Christmas, sometimes you have to think of how long it's going to take you. Now I've got the mini holly. And again, the same thing here. It's got a lovely stem on, but I don't particularly want the stem. So I'm just going to ink it up, just take the stem off. And I'm just going to start and add some first generation and then some second. And again, we'll go first there where we did the second. Then we'll come in with second just over there. And I'm just going to work my way around the card. Again, I'm just taking the ink off the stem. Might be there's areas where you want the stem. And again, it's up to you how much of this you want. I mean, I could make a mask for my fir cone, but I've got to be honest, I just think with Christmas, almost the quicker I can do a design, the better. Now it just needs one there. So maybe I'll just catch the edge. I don't want to ink all that up. And let's just have one popping up there. I like that shape. Maybe just the end of that second generation, just to, yeah, elongate that. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to turn this round. And I love the fact that we almost become, I would say, I think I'm a bit of a frustrated flower arranger, because I love the fact we can almost make up our own floral designs. And again, I just want to keep taking that ink off the stem. You know, sometimes I do, unfortunately, cut into my stamps, and I have thought of cutting this stem off, but you know what'll happen? As soon as I do, I'm going to want the whole stem, although I have got 2 of these stamps actually, so I might cut the stem off one and keep one with the stem on. Something lovely about doing this, just building up the design. think just possibly more. I don't want to overcook it. Right, let me turn it round. See, definitely, what do you think? So, in my opinion, I think we need another one there, don't you? If ever you're not sure, get your little bit of acetate and look. And I think that just balances it nicely. And I like the shape. You see, now when you take it away, to me, definitely looks like there's something missing. And that's a great way of preventing yourself. The other little tip is maybe take a photograph. And if you take a photograph with and without, yeah, I like that now. Now what I will do is we'll just add our sentiment, and I'm going to come with the Heartfelt Verses, and we're going to go for Just For You. Now what would be fabulous would be if I had a Christmas sentiment. So by the magic of Tracy, I'm going to get in Tracy's head. Now, wouldn't that be lovely if we just had, but the Just For You will work well. But Tracy, I'm in your head, lovely lady. There we go. Definitely, and don't you think it just finishes off that whole composition? So we'll give that a blot. Now colouring. Lots of ways you can colour. We've got our watercolour pencils, but I'm going to come in with my Zig pens, and I'm going to use 3 colours. I've got number 60, which is the brown for my deep shade, number 24, the wine red for my next, and my bright is the number 20, which is the actual red. So we'll take the lids off, and I'm very quickly just going to obviously add the deeper colour, and then my next red. And Tracy's done all the hard work. She's shown us where we need the deeper colour round the berry, and then that lovely red, and just going over the top to blend it in. So you can see all those little dots where you need your deeper colour. And again, for me, I just find it easier to keep the pens in my hand so that I can then just come in. And I like to do each berry on their own, only because the colour won't dry then, and then when I blend. So this one, I'm just going to put the brown there, and then my deeper red at the top, and there, and then come in. Now you can leave a white space if you want to leave your white highlight, but I'm going to come in with my white Posca when this is dry. I will let this dry though, because if I do it straight away, as we know, the Posca ends up pink. So it is best to just let it dry. But they just really pop the colour. And I was mindful not to stamp my holly over the top. And then in with our, and then my lovely. Now when it comes to the fir cones, it's up to you again. You can add some colour. Let me just pop the lids back on these. So I'm thinking, just going to look for a light brown. Let me have a look, just let me test this colour. Yeah, that's enough for me. So this one is actually number 71, flesh colour. Now you can go more brown if you want. I'm thinking that goes lovely with the Sahara sort of tones. I don't really want it dark brown. I just want to make them look as though they're not see-through. But I like that. That sort of blends in look, especially with going over the Sahara there. So that was, just to re-clarify, that was 71, which is flesh colour. There are lots of lovely browns to choose from though. Now, little tip with the berries. I have got a lovely one of the Signo and the metallic, the red, and that's beautiful. But I found, and this is a bit of a cheat for speed, I found my red Posca, and this is the 5M. So it's got a slightly larger. If I actually just dot it, I can dot my berries in. And for speed, I found it a lot quicker, look. So I can literally just one dot is for each berry. And also if I wanted to add any extra. And again, I'm working towards me so that I'm not going over. And leaning on my kitchen towel, just try and get in those good habits. And I just felt that was a lot. Oh, I think there's some there. So that for me was a lovely, quick result. Now it might be, as I say, you want to spend the time colouring using your lovely watercolour pencils, your gel pens. But I just found this, I'm thinking batch card making this design. And so for me, this would just be a nice, quick way. And again, I know when it dries, they'll be permanent. So that's and again, so quick. Now, like I say, on my finished one, I've brought some white in. And if I do that now, it will go slightly pink. So what we'll do is while that's drying, and what I'll do is I'll just bring my heat tool, just to give it a bit of a dry. We're going to add some glitter. Christmas, we need a bit of sparkle. And I just need my copy paper back in because I'm going to use this beautiful, this is the Eco Glitter. So this is the StarBrights and it's a vintage shimmer. And I'm just going to use my Zig two-way glue pen. And again, we'll just add some dots just round the holly. Don't want to overcook it. Need a little bit of glitter, but I don't want too much. So add a little bit up there. It's a new colour for me, this. I didn't have this colour. And when I was doing a workshop at Lavinia the other week, I saw that and I thought, oh, I've not got that. So popped that in my basket, added it to my list. So we've got lots of different sizes in here. So I'll try and give it a bit of a shake. And then we'll just, oh, look at that, beautiful. This is a vintage shimmer. And one thing about this colour is I thought it would go with a lot of the different colours I'm using in different designs. So I'm going to lift that up and give it a bit of a tap because I want all that glitter to go back in that pot. So let's have a look. And often what I do is just with a clean brush, just where some of it's maybe just, especially the little pieces, just stayed on my card where I don't want them. So I'll give it a bit of a clean. And this is just an old brush, I just keep it on the side, that's better. Extra tap. Right, now let's get this. And this is a bit where you think, don't sneeze. It's a good job Eric's fast asleep. I do feel for you, at least Eric, my Labrador, is on the floor. Oh, look at that, it's not very clean, is it? Sorry. But for you ladies who have cats, and if they get on your craft desk with you, I can imagine at this point, I'm just going to give that a tap because I want all that glitter to go back in there. Give it a good tap so it goes flat. Lid back on. And then there is that lovely design and the glitter. I don't know if I can, I probably can't, you know what I'm like. Yeah, you can just see it. It's just beautiful, isn't it? So one thing as well with the berries, look, I had a little play. It did occur to me, if you stamp a berry and say you're not happy with the colouring, or you've maybe got a piece of, you've over-stamped it, it would be good to decoupage it. So I got a spare piece of card, stamped my berries, coloured them in the same as I have, and I've just popped over the top some glossy accents, look. Let it dry, and for me I find it easier to let it dry and then cut them out. But look at that, you've almost made yourself little gems, and I just think if you added those, and again for me it would be a card that I was actually giving and not posting, although they do dry very hard, but I think it just adds the extra depth to me. But I think that you could obviously put glossy accents straight on your card, but for me, I end up putting something on it. It's easier for me to put this to one side to dry than my cards. But that's just another little idea for you. And I loved the idea of almost making my own little embellishments. And I thought it was something I could do, you know, if you're having a day where your mojo's playing up, just make yourself some little berries. Right, so last of all, the white. So let's just see if I come in with my white pen whether it's not quite dry, but we might just get a couple of highlights to give you an idea. And then we'll add some snow. And again, it's Christmas, so let's have snow. And I'm holding my Posca quite close to the design, and just all the way around, look. And obviously for me, I put this on right at the end when everything else is dry around there. Shows up beautifully, look, on that Sahara. And I just think that is lovely. I hope you do. So pretty. So if I bring in the one that I've already made, and obviously, like I say, there's the back. And it just shows you how you can just mix it up a little bit, look. So I think I quite like this one, although I do like, again, choices, isn't it? And I think this one would look lovely on the brown. Let me just see, I'm just thinking. Just trim that a little. I like that on the brown. Right, you see, so many possibilities. So thank you for popping in. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have a go at this sort of design. I'd love to see what you come up with. Choice of colours. See, I love doing the berries in blue as well. Now, wouldn't this look lovely in tones of blue? See, I'm going to have to go and make a blue one now, aren't I? Definitely going to be batch card making this. Anyway, thanks for popping in as always. You take good care of yourselves. You're very important to me. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.